So I want you to take your 4 pages and arrange them in such a manner. There's about an inch or so in between each page. Does that make sense? So here's what I'm going to do. Once I have it, I'm going to pick it up like this. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see it a little bit easier. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to tuck the bottom underneath. I'm going to fold it again, but keeping in mind I still have, oh, wrong way. I still have about an inch here between these two colors that are touching each other now. Then I'm going to crease. Put in a crease. Does that make sense to everyone? So it should look like you have this top one and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other like places to write. Does anybody have any questions? If you put these too far apart, you're not going to have enough room on this last tab here. Do you see how big mine is? Okay. But make sure you put enough room here in between these like this so that we have room to write. Okay. And then we are going to staple. Now I'm putting 3 staples in mine. Some other people put 2. You just put like 1 right here. Some people put 5 because they did like the 3 that I did and the 2 more in here. Pretty much past that, you're just trying to use my staples up. Okay. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. If you have a question, ask me before you fold it. That's not right. Hold on. Okay, is everybody good? Almost? I can start a little bit for those of you who are done. Yes? I'm just decorating while you guys finish stapling. Almost done? So guess what we're talking about today? Exponents. You're so smart. Everybody get the stapler? Almost. Okay, we're ready? So before we do anything else, we're going to take this and we're going to turn it over on the back. Yeah, please don't write my name. Write your own name. Okay? Write your own name on the back. Why are you going to write your name on the back? Because if you do, what can happen? You can use it on the test. Okay? You can use it as long as it's yours. You can use it on the test. You remember that? Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the tab on every single one of these, and I'll show you what we're going to do after that. Okay? We're going to actually fill in one tab at a time. So this very first tab that's here, we're going to write product of powers. Product of powers. Now, we're reviewing our exponent rules, right? There's not any exponent rules that you don't already know. In fact, we used a bunch of these in the last couple weeks when we were talking about polynomials, didn't we? Okay, so we're just reviewing them because we have to go a step further now. Okay, product of powers says a to the m times a to the n. What's that going to equal? If I'm multiplying like bases, what do I do with the exponents? What is it? Add them. So m plus n. Now the cool part about this foldable is once I have the tab filled in, if I fold up this area right here, this first one that has exponent, look at all the room I have to write examples. So if I have a squared, x squared times x to the third, what does that equal? What is x squared times x to the third? X to the fifth, because when we are multiplying like bases, I add my exponents. 2 plus 3 is 5. Does that make sense? Now I'm also going to write some examples over here on this side. Okay, just one for this tab, but there will be some tabs where I have multiple examples over here. It's the same rules, but look at what's different. Oh, they're fractions, right? Have we talked about this before? No, this is definitely the new part for us. Okay, why didn't I talk about these when I talked about polynomials? Kind of. Guys, is it a polynomial if it has a fractional exponent? It's not, right? So when we were talking about polynomials, it wasn't time to talk about fractional exponents because those are not polynomials, are they? Okay, but guess what the rule is when I'm multiplying like bases, even when the exponents are fractions? You add them. It's the same rule, okay? So what is 3 halves plus 4 halves? Because they have common denominator, what do we do with the exponents? I mean, with the numerators? Add them. So x to the 7 halves. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know some of you don't like fractions. Respectfully as I can say, I don't care. We still have to do them, right? Okay. All right, next tab. You ready for the next tab? Power of powers. This is another one down. See, I have this top one, then I have the next one down. Power of powers. Every tab we're going to write a rule on. You see what I mean by tab? Okay. Power of powers says a to the m power raised to the n power. If I have a power raised to a power, what do I do with those exponents? Multiply. M times n. So power of powers is if I have an exponent raised to another exponent, I multiply those two exponents. Got it? So let's fold up that so we can write some examples. X squared to the third power. X squared to the third power. What is that? X to the sixth. Now, I know some of you are visual learners. Can I show you something real fast? Isn't x squared the same, to the third power, the same as x squared times x squared times x squared? Which is, isn't that x times x times x times x times x times x? And then if we use that first rule, the product of powers rule that we just did, don't we add exponents? How many exponents do I have then? 6, right? Do we want to do this every time? No, but this is why this rule works. You okay with that? Okay. What about x to the 1/2 power raised to the third? Is it the same rule or a different rule when we have fractions? Oh, the same? Okay, so I multiply these two powers. So I have 1/2 times 3. Well, isn't that really the same as 3 over 1? And when I'm multiplying fractions, don't I multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator? So I get x to the 3 halves. Because 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2, so 3 halves. Good? Power of a product. Now, I know this can be a little confusing because I've already done product of powers, right? And now I'm doing power of a product, but I think you'll see the difference in just a second. Can you give me just a second?